Darrell Dusty Crawford, whose local American Blackfoot name is Solitary Bull, investigates his outcomes with interest. He's taken a DNA test with an outfit called Cell Exploration Establishment CRI, and gleaned tons of useful knowledge about his legacy. What he doesn't have the foggiest idea yet, however, is that the ends will likewise have suggestions for every local American. The Montana man has the most established DNA local to America, and it changes what we are familiar our predecessors. But before we get subscribing to our channel is the best way to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest historical journeys content. It's like having a direct line to our channel. Let's get started. The quickly surprising thing about Crawford's test is the manner by which far back the researchers at the CRI have followed his hereditary history. As a matter of fact, the organization has said that it has never figured out how to dive this far back in time previously, and this accomplishment could compel a reevaluate on the historical backdrop of people in the Americas. Crawford lives in Hartwood, Montana, a city situated in the 1.5 million sections of land of the Blackfeet Indian Reservation in the northwest of the state, with a populace of more than 17,000. The Blackfeet country is one of America's biggest local American clans. 3 other Blackfeet reservations are situated in Alberta, Canada. We've made the frightening declaration that Crawford's DNA test might significantly affect our opinion on the appearance of people on the American mainland. In any case, what definitively do we realize regarding this matter? Well, the most popular hypothesis portrays a relocation of individuals from the northern region of what is currently Siberia into the land we today know is the frozen north. To comprehend how people could have relocated from Siberia to the frozen north, we need to return to the hour of the last ice age. As a matter of fact, what is normally called the Ice Age was really a time of glaciation. There have been 5 ice ages in our planet's history, and we're right now in one called the Quaternary. What began a long time back. Basically, an ice age is characterized as a period when both of Earth's shafts are shrouded in ice. Also, icy masses countries are periods when the ice stretches out across a large part of the planet, of which there have been 12 in the last 1 million years. The last glaciation crested close to quite a while back, and reached a conclusion around a long time back. Furthermore, it was during this last glaciation period, something like a long time back, when specialists say that people crossed from Siberia into the frozen north. Today, strolling that course is an inconceivability because of the impediment of the Bering Ocean, what isolates the 2 bodies of land. But since such a large amount the universe's water was secured as ice, in those days ocean levels were, however, much 400 feet lower. With ocean levels so unique to how they are currently, it was conceivable to cross from Siberia to Gold Country. Furthermore, it's something beyond a simple hypothesis. Truth be told, there is archaeological proof for an old land span movement. One illustration of this comes from a find made by a group drove by the College of the Frozen North is Dr. Then Potter. Presently, Potter and his associates found the skeletons of 2 youngsters. The 2 young ladies, one had been stillborn, the other passed on not long after birth, and the bodies had been covered underneath a pit fire nearly quite a while back. The area of the removal was the Upper Child Stream, which lies in Focal, the frozen north in the Tanana Waterway Bowl. Strangely, researchers had the option to remove mitochondrial DNA from the more established baby. This specific kind of hereditary material empowers specialists to recognize the female heritage line for an individual, and this example matched the DNA tracked down in contemporary local Americans. That firmly recommends an association between the youngster found in Focal, the frozen north, and individuals who lived and live further south in the Americas. The meaning of this find is that the land the site possesses is accepted to have been essential for the old land span along Siberia and the frozen north. That is a counterpart for the hereditary material tracked down in numerous contemporary local Americans. So this date pushed back the earliest known DNA of this kind from 11,500 to quite a while back. Conversing with new researcher in May 2020, you said not a populous moved to America and afterward vanished in the Eurasian landmass. She added that in old times this hereditary unique finger impression stretched out across Siberia, during when the populace there was still intimately connecting with individuals from Upper East Asia. In the meantime, Anders Berg Strim of the Francis Cramp Organization in London added his view in The New Researcher. He said, "What this and other antiquated DNA studies are showing is that to figure out the beginnings of local American populaces, one should concentrate on Old Siberia. Obviously, this guide adds toward the believability of the land span hypothesis, and Bergstrom proceeded with Lake Baikal seems to have been a hereditary contact zone for quite a while, uniting individuals from the west and the east, both right off the bat in the Paleolithic and all the more as of late during the Bronze Age. Assuming that Bergstrom is right, these Siberian individuals might be the progenitors of today's local Americans. Nonetheless, that the main Americans crossed into the mainland by means of that antiquated land span from Siberia to Gold Country isn't altogether unchallenged. Composing for Public Geographic in June 2018, creator and writer Simon Worrell framed the elective hypotheses in a progression of inquiries. Worrell composed, "How did people originally come to North America across the Bering Waterway? By walking down the Kelp Thruway, by boat across the Atlantic, by means of the polar ice cap, and when did they arrive at here? Quite a while back, 40,000. Or then again, were they generally here as the Navajo and other local American clans accept?" As may be obvious, there are numerous potential outcomes. Moreover, in the Public Geographic article, Worrell talked with Craig Childs, who had recently distributed a book on local American starting points chart book of a lost world. Furthermore, Childs affirms that the land span hypothesis is the most noticeable logic. Notwithstanding, he proceeds to frame asserts that the first individuals to get comfortable quite a while had shown up by boat from Europe. That overseas hypothesis is upheld by the regular finds of antiquated Clovis weapons on America's east coast, frequently as sharpened stones or lance focuses. These relics look similar to weaponry found in Spain and southern France. Childs made sense of. This seaborne course would have seen individuals cruising across the Atlantic and skin-shrouded vessels and arriving in Virginia or Maryland. To add to that, Childs examines the convictions of local Americans themselves. A few locals hold that the main individuals there emerged from the beginning. These are stories connected with beginning and creation stories all around the Americas. Local clans have clear anecdotes about how they arrived, emerging from caves or up through springs and underground sources. Youngster said that we consider the appearance of the main individuals is one gathering conquering their direction across a land span, when truth be told it was many gatherings, various dialects, and innovations showing up at various times from various headings. So maybe in all actuality the account of the appearance of people in the Americas is multi-layered. As we've seen, a few local Americans, for example, Daryl Crawford, have gone to DNA testing to get more familiar with their past. Crawford Kin had been a fireman with the Maine Mountain Superstars, an outfit that battles fierce blazes on Blackfoot land. What's more, had likewise worked at the Blackfeet Junior College showing development industry abilities. Alvin had proactively taken a DNA test with family line. Truth be told, Com, however, hadn't been happy with the outcomes. That is the reason Crawford went to an alternate organization, CRY, which we referenced prior, and the organization situated in St. Monica, California guarantees an exactness level more than 90 for its trying techniques. In any case, Crawford depicted his siblings' love of everything legacy to the incomparable Falls Tribune. He said he was intrigued by our set of experiences. What's more, it never occurred to me the amount he knew until one night we were discussing area. And he knew such a lot of history. Also, Crawford recalled the occasions of Alvin's terrible passing at the time of only 62. He reviewed, "I just conversed with him about my outcome. My mother was keen on it, so I took it to her to peruse. He said he planned to understand it, yet he never came to her home to understand it. He would have been truly content with the outcomes. Also, those results were totally dazzling, with suggestions for our insight about the movement of people to the Americas." Cry, Hereditary Qualities had the option to let Crawford know that its scientists had prevailed with regards to following back his parentage to 55 ages prior. Albeit the organization typically guarantees 90 trust in their outcomes. For this situation, it felt ready to raise this to 99. Generally speaking, it implied that his predecessors dated back about quite a while back. Presently, Cry underscored how surprising this finding was. It was so surprising, as a matter of fact. They said that it was what might be compared to finding the unbelievable Bigfoot, and Crawford's genealogy extended back additional in time than some other people analyzed by the organization. Indeed, Cry had seen nothing very like it. As a kid, Crawford had been shown about the land span hypothesis and how his relatives had most likely arrived at the Americas. In any case, the consequences of his DNA test appear to go against this. It seemed to show that individuals could, to be sure, have come to America over the sea. We heard before about the likelihood that Stone Age individuals had gone in old times from southern France and Spain. In any case, Crawford's hereditary legacy opened up another chance. For sure, his DNA connected him to individuals who had started from the Pacific. So the hypothesis goes that they had crossed the oceans, shown up in South America, and afterward moved northwards. Crawford's DNA made him a player in the Na haplogroup 2, which is just seldom found in individuals from locales in the north of the Americas, like Canada and Gold Country. Besides, this ancestry really showed up in what is currently Arizona exactly a long time back, and individuals from this gathering are one of 4 significant local populaces known as factions, which spread across the Americas quite a while back. Curiously, most current local Americans can follow their genealogy back to one of these families. They are named Sachi, Ai-Chia, and Ina, and the Ina bunch is named after a significant figure in Polynesian folklore who is said to represent the main lady. On the off chance that you at any point end up being in the Cook Islands in the Pacific, investigate a 20 charge. You will see his resemblance on it. All the more significantly, Crawford himself is from Ina, as indicated by his outcomes. Presently, the nearest relationship with the DNA component of Na haplogroup B2 is with individuals from the Pacific. Talking about this, a delegate from CRI Hereditary Qualities told the incomparable Falls Tribune that its way from the Americas is to some degree a secret, as there are no frequencies of the haplogroup in one or the other Gold Country or Canada. The company's representative proceeded with, today, this local American line is found exclusively in the Americas, with a solid recurrence top on the eastern shoreline of North America. That is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.